1, 2, 1, 2. Check it out.
It's the guys next door.
Check it out, y'all.
Only you to enjoy.
Yo, get live. Nobody fly it and fly ride. Couple guys from the city and you know Mac Wiles we own. Life of the party, my boy home. That smells Jones.
It's the guys next door.
Check it out, y'all.
Only you to enjoy.
Welcome back. Happy Monday. It is Black History Month still.
Man.
And we are still kicking it with our people. Martell, shout out to Martell. We
Feels good to be
appreciate
black.
you.
Feels good to be black. There we go.
I like that. Ryan,
Yes.
what's your favorite black person from a cartoon?
My favorite black person from a cartoon. I have a couple.
Okay.
Static Shock.
Static Shock is a
Okay.
good one. That's a good one.
Okay.
My man Gerald.
Gerald was a
From
good friend.
Hey Arnold.
From Hey Arnold.
Okay.
Gerald
Okay.
was a good friend.
Okay.
I got Susie from Rugrats.
Susie Fire.
Susie
Love Susie.
could be president. Not gonna lie to you.
So-
I
so-
agree.
She could have been a president.
She might be Michelle Obama. I'm not gonna lie to you.
think she
Green-
no, she would be president.
Green Lantern.
President. Yeah, you're right.
Which John. Come on, you know this one. I know who you're talking
John
about.
Stewart.
John Stewart.
Yeah. I could go on and on.
Yep.
That's 4. Give me one more.
I like the folks.
Give me
I
one
like
more.
the folks.
You said cartoon. We're going
Yeah,
only
cartoon.
cartoons.
Keep it cartoon.
Oh no, I mean I didn't say cartoon. I just said TV show.
Oh, you said cartoon.
No, I said TV show.
TV show.
But
TV show?
you went cartoons.
I went
Go ahead.
I
cartoons.
love cartoons.
I only went cartoons because when I was
the
doing my
cartoons.
tattoos on my leg, I was going over all the black
Okay.
characters.
So give me one more.
Raphael, the Ninja Turtle, he's black.
I agree.
He's not
He's
black.
He's black.
He's not black.
He has to be.
How?
Come on, let's go.
How's he
Give
not?
it to me. Yeah. Come on, make it make sense.
What?
They're from New York. They're from the gutter.
Yeah.
From the streets.
No pun
True.
intended.
We all know rats. We not gotta be cool with them, but we know them.
Yeah, but they was fathered by the
Nah, they got away. They got rid of them. Pizza, loved it.
Love
black
it.
people love pizza now.
Yeah.
Like love it.
You mean it's more of an Italian thing? Is that what you're trying to
New
you're
York,
trying to-
New York.
Hey,
That's
forget
what,
about it.
no,
Hey.
but that's what we could afford. Dallas, little. You feel what I'm saying?
Touche.
Okay. I'm not mad.
But why him out of the 4 is he the black one?
No, they all black.
Oh, okay. Now we're
Got
getting
it.
somewhere.
There we go.
Take that. I'll go.
There we go.
I hate it bad.
I only
But
said
you-
Raphael because R always resonated with me. as well as a
Ryan,
kid.
yeah, I get it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Hate it bad, but I'll go with it. It was good.
Score me.
I need your 5.
Cartoons? Are we doing cartoons?
Stay with cartoons. You gotta stay with
5
cartoons.
is nuts.
5. That's
you only
crazy. 5 cartoons.
because you asked for one and then
and you
you
gave
told
me 5, so I like the
No,
5.
because I was just listening.
I know.
Nah,
So
yeah,
give me
it's
a
gotta
star
do
5.
Just do
Black
one.
TV.
Just do one.
Okay, let me see. 5.
You gonna go Black Power Ranger?
I mean, he was
Now, somebody did it to you. You'd be so
No, I was saying in general, like,
5.
because I was thinking of a real person, but all right, my fault.
5.
Yeah,
I want
come on.
give me I want Huey from
The Boondocks.
Boondocks.
All right. Shout out to Regina King.
That was good. That was good.
Give me Riley as well. I'll
Bang.
take
Shout out to Regina
Bang,
King.
bang. Gotta do them both.
Hey, yo, that sounds crazy.
Whoa, that was wild. I am so sorry, Martell. That was
Bless.
very, very,
Bless your
very,
heart.
very crazy.
God bless him.
Afro Samurai.
All right. You want to be? All right, you're getting weird.
I want
Come
Afro
on,
Samurai.
go
Bring it
with
back. Bring it back.
Let's do it. Come on, bring it back to us. Come on.
Give me.
Don't know what that is. Let's go there.
You know who else was black, but they colored him. Well, give me Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z.
Piccolo was definitely one of them.
He was one of them. He was one of them.
He's a bald.
Yep.
Bald green
Yes, sir.
cat.
With the little.
He was
Yes,
always
sir.
tight. He was always tight and jealous of Goku.
Yes.
Dang, that gotta be the
And
black.
he raised Goku's son.
Oh, did
His stepfather.
Yep.
He black.
Black.
Absolutely
Give
black.
me one more. We
black,
have 4.
Blacker than black. We have 4. Give me to finish up. Skeeter from Doug. He was black too.
All right. The fact that no one went real people, you're pissing me off. Okay. He was not.
You know why? You know why we go cartoons? Because once we name the real people, then I really start to think who they are, and I'll be like, no, I don't.
All right. 5. I'm not going cartoons. I'm not gonna lie.
You don't gotta go 5.
I'm not going
You
5
can mix
cartoons.
them up.
All right.
Mix them up.
Zach. I'm going Zach.
Okay.
Zach
Power
had a
Ranger.
terrible headline. Terrible headline.
Who's that?
Black Ranger.
Oh, okay.
Black
Oh,
Ranger.
for
Zach
sure.
Taylor. Black Ranger. Terrible hairline, but he could dance really good.
He had the oval.
It was just an oval.
He used to get crazy with the dances.
He used to get
had
crazy
to.
with the dances.
If you knew your haircut was that bad,
You gotta overcompensate.
you gotta
somewhere.
overcompensate.
You always gotta
some way.
move around so you
there
can't
was
really
no
see it.
corner. You cannot find. You
I
could
still
not
see him,
find.
by the way.
Yeah, he be
Yo,
outside.
I wonder
He's
what,
in L.A.
He be
Yeah,
alive?
he be outside.
Nah, he be in L.A.
He be outside.
trying to figure it out.
I wonder what that was like in the 90s. Like you get off set and you gotta go home and you go to your neighborhood or whatever and you
You think he's from a black neighborhood?
Not with that haircut.
He's not. He's not from a
Oh
black neighborhood.
no.
think so.
First
Zach
of all,
Taylor,
no.
not, the actor's act,
Absolutely
the
not.
actor who plays Zach, he's not from a black
Absolutely not.
neighborhood.
To get into the casting at that time, his
There was no
parents
way.
was
There's absolutely no way.
All right. Touche.
All right, so I got Zach Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna sound biased. Michael Lee. I don't care how you feel about it.
I'll
Boy,
take it.
who is these people?
I'll take it. Me. From the wire. Me from the wire.
Okay, yeah. I never
Yeah,
watched.
it's all right.
Forgive me.
But yeah, Michael Lee.
I'll
not
take
gonna,
that.
I'm not gonna play with you. It sounds biased
bang.
and all,
No, I get you.
but
Because
it
bang.
changed,
you thought that was you.
and you ain't lying.
It turned into you. Anyway,
You're
keep
definitely not lying.
Uh-huh.
3. Okay, you can get mad at me.
Oh Lord.
Don't care. Cameron's character from
Killer Season.
Killer Season. Bang.
You said TV.
played himself,
You said
basically.
I said TV. I take it back.
TV.
I
Take it back.
He said he played himself.
reel it back. I reel
his
it back. I said
character.
TV. I said TV. I take it back. Eddie Winslow. Eddie Winslow. I don't agree with him.
All
He
right.
was a king sucker.
Oh, dear.
What about
But
you?
he was mad cool.
What about now?
What's
My
he doing
bad. My bad.
himself?
Keep going. Keep going. Who's your last? We can research that. This episode is a
This
sponsored
is
piece.
Nuts.
This is a sponsored piece.
All right, last 2. Okay, here we go. Wendell
That sounds dumb
from
familiar.
Parenthood.
Okay.
Donald
Right.
Faison.
There you go.
Yeah, that's my man.
There you go.
Is it Phase on Love?
No, Phase on Love. Phase on Love.
Phase on love, but Wendell.
Faisalini.
Faisalino. And last but not least, Martin Lawrence. Easy.
Okay.
Easy.
You don't gotta give us 5.
I'm not.
He said, "I'm not."
I decided that. But I am going to give you a deep cut that y'all
Ooh.
overlooked.
Okay, let's do it.
That's a cartoon.
All right.
Wayne Head.
Dog.
I've been watching Wayne Head on YouTube for the last 2 weeks.
I wear my hat. I wear my hat like this.
Party
on purpose.
Because
That's fire.
well, if you're gonna do that, you gotta lean it to the side.
Yeah.
You gotta lean it to the side.
As we progress through the episode,
Now, Wayne had it. I always want to go to that rib shop.
so we got Wayne Head. We got another deep
That's
cut
a
for you.
banger.
Hermes from Futurama.
Oh,
The
yes.
black
The Jamaican
dread
guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Homeboys in outer space.
A pimp named Slickback.
A pimp named Slickback.
He won.
That was.
I'm not gonna lie, he might have won.
That was.
He might have just won.
That was.
That's all I have.
That was a fire.
That's a solid top 3.
That was a solid top 3.
And if y'all wondering who that was,
That was Cat Williams.
we got Brick Owens. No,
Oh, I'm Brick.
you. Could we introduce you? But we got Brick Owens. He came next door to chop it up with us. It is Black History Month. We are celebrating Black creative.
Absolutely.
And
This one is special.
Go ahead.
This is a special guest.
My dog.
I'll say.
Who is not a special guest? Who we had that wasn't a special guest?
We'll talk about another day.
I'm a little more special.
Because the way he said, he was like, so we had them get that weren't special.
No, I didn't say that.
This
But,
is special.
but sometimes certain guests resonate to you type of shit. Like he type stuff. When it comes to Brick, it's like I'm not a fashion guy. That's just not me. I like what I like, and when people tell me this is Ryan, I'm very well coached when it comes to how I dress.
I like it.
He is one of the only people. Well, my circle, like I said, is what did I say before? Very creative circle.
Yes.
He's been a fashion guy before fashion was
popular.
a thing.
Yeah.
I remember meeting. I think the first time I met you was when you first moved back to New York. Were you here before? Yeah, you came back because you came from Atlanta, and I remember we went to that one store in LES.
What to carry? What year? Give me the year. I'm
It
gonna know.
has like a lot of old fashioned stuff you could buy.
Talking about Lambs. Next to last spot?
No. Dang.
We're gonna
Is
get
it
to
Tokyo something?
Yes, Tokyo 7 in East Village.
Yes.
Not LES.
Yeah, okay, that's what I say. I know it.
Yeah.
okay.
So I think that was the first day we actually chilled.
Probably.
Me, you, Wes, whole bunch of us. But from that day, I could see it was just a different world than I can like fashion.
fashion world.
There was more than just going to Soho and going to Atrium. and there was more than. but that's what we knew.
First of all, shout out to those days.
No, it was amazing days, but I
Great
thought
days.
that was in my mind, that was the plateau
that was
of
the
fashion
pinnacle,
because
yeah.
that I couldn't even afford most of that stuff.
Right.
So
And Atrium?
yeah, Atrium.
Oh, back in the day. Okay.
Atrium went crazy. Like
back-
they had
I'm
stuff.
thinking where we're at now.
No, where
I get
Atrium, hold
what
on,
you're
where
saying.
Atrium back in the
That's
day.
when they had all the Montclairs. They had everything, and
Yeah,
some
it
things
was
I can't afford. I
wild.
go get my good jeans. What was it at the time?
Saturdays?
No. It was nudies.
It was nudies.
It was
Nudies.
nudies. I would go get my nudies and stuff. Cool. I can afford that barely, but I got it. But then I didn't know there was a level above that, which was all the high ends, because we didn't really cross that other side.
Yeah.
Of
and
Broadway.
then we didn't know how to
what I'm
didn't know
saying?
how to really
A house
flip
thing.
it the right way.
In fact, and you
In
know,
the Houston.
you know,
Yeah.
back in the day, it was everybody would go down to Soho and they chill on Broadway and Houston around the area.
Yep.
If you
By the
really
Wendy's.
think about it, all the high end stores are on the other side of
200%.
Broadway.
It's literally the opposite direction.
And
You
we
gotta
all-
walk down. You gotta
and-
walk down.
But even
Canal.
if you're on Broadway in Houston, on the right side, if you're on Houston and you're going straight up Houston, on the right side is where the Pradas and everything were. For
sure.
We all chilled on the left
On
side
the
of
left
the
side
street.
of the building.
Correct.
Yeah.
So to us, it was all I know is the Atrium. We go to Bape, and Supreme wasn't even a
Back
thing
when
like
Bape was
that.
on
Like,
Supreme.
it wasn't,
Yeah.
but there was
Yeah.
it was Bape.
Supreme was very specific. You had to be
very,
It was a
and
very
it was the
specific-
this was the BBC.
Only on Thursday.
Yeah, exactly.
But this was
On
the
the drop.
BBC time. This is we go only to BBC. Then we go to Bape. We go to Atrium.
Go to Nike.
You go to Nike. And that was really it. We go to Nike Mercer.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
what I
stuff
said, yeah.
But
21
once
Mercer.
I met Brick, it showed me that there's more to life than just the streetwear world.
Yeah.
So that was my introduction to high fashion. To this day, I can still call him and be like, "Yo, how you?
What do you
like
think about
You
this?
like these? Like this? I don't know these names of people. He's taught me things that I knew nothing about, and if I didn't talk about him to this day, I wouldn't know nothing about. So that's why Briggs is a special guest for me because he really uplifted my soul when it came to fashion. Like
Hey, come on.
I didn't know
Let's give it up for
nothing
that.
about
Let's give it up
stuff.
for that, man.
And I'm not a dresser like that, but I put that.
You put that thing on when you need to.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
I mean,
How you feel? How you
then we
feel
have
after
watch
that?
talks.
Such an intro break.
it feels good. It feels good. It feels good to know that you have people that admire and like the things that you are into. I mean, obviously, similar interests is what brings people together and makes them friends. I spent a lot of time in my life studying clothes. So it's.
Where you from?
I'm from Atlanta.
Okay.
Been in New York. February 1st will be 8 years. So yeah, like Rob was saying, for me, I'm from Atlanta, so like all the things that you guys have had in your backyard of Soho, whether it's Atrium, Bape, BBC, Prada, so on and so forth. Where I was from, bro, we didn't have any of these
I'm about to
things.
say it wasn't the same access, especially not now, because you go to Atlanta now.
Now, as of 3 to 4 years
I'm
ago.
about to say literally within the last 5 years.
Phipps, and then y'all got
You guys have exploded in the scene of not only streetwear but like there's so many different spots of high fashion in there now.
The power of the black dollar.
Very true.
That's literally all it is.
When the-
Because, growing up in Atlanta, we had Wish, where I
Shout
once-
out
I
to
remember
Justin.
Wish.
yeah,
Yep.
where I once worked at.
Oh, you worked there when Justin was there or before?
Justin, last name?
Paul.
I don't believe so. He probably was in there before me, or maybe.
No, he's
after.
dead now. So
Oh no,
yeah,
I've been here for almost 8
Yeah.
years. So no. But yeah, we had that. We had Standard, Walters, and things like that. So we made do with what it was that we had. But to get back to Ryan's point, like I began to understand that there was much more out there. So me and friends of mine, we were on forums.
Yeah.
So you know how like
What were some of the forums you was on back
I'm
then?
gonna tell you.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you.
So you know how like now you have like Reddit.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
things
yeah,
of
yeah,
that
yeah.
nature. Like then we were on Super Future, Fifth Dimension,
Fifth Dimension was.
I remember Fifth Dimension.
Nike SB, 23
Remember
is
that?
back.
23
23 is back.
Heavy.
That was a forum,
Hype
and
beast.
that was at the time that was the most accurate spot for releases.
Yep.
Like they would let you know the date
Yeah.
You would be able to find a date, and in them forums, you would be able to be like, that's why I got my the OG Thunders, the OG Lightning. I'm sorry, the OG Lightning is where I got that.
Yeah. So like playing around on the forums, it's literally a global community of people that have these things in their backyard. Those that don't have these things in their backyard, but they like these kind of things. Like we didn't have a Dior in our backyard, but I always liked Dior jeans. Could I afford Dior jeans? Not necessarily, but it was things that I admired about them. So it's like, oh, when I was able to buy Dior jeans, I was wearing Jordans. So it's like, all right, then that became a thing, and like our style began to morph into these different influences of things that we were looking at on the computer. Like now, maybe if I was born in a place where Prada, Chanel, Gucci, Fendi, Louis Vuitton, and so on and so forth, and all of these other luxurious flagships are up the street or a train ride down, maybe my perspective wouldn't be as broad as far as understanding fashion and style and things of that nature. But just being exposed to forums really opened that up, and you got to meet like-minded individuals that had niche interests that didn't have the money to obtain these things, but they still looked like you. So it wasn't as much as I'm comfortable wearing a Nike Tech and I see a guy wearing a skirt and it's like, yo, what does bro have on? As opposed to I'm with people that's like, yo, we're all from a place that's kind of like isolated of not having these things. So when we see these things, it's like, maybe I wouldn't wear that, but I like the shoes and I see how they got there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
yeah.
it began to, be more of a understanding of perspective as opposed to always like, oh, it's fresh or it's not fresh.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you understand perspective.
So for you,
Yep.
especially as you just said, growing up in Atlanta, it was like you guys didn't have the same access that I probably had just being up here in New York. What was that spark for you? Like, what was that first thing that made you even want to start to venture or even pay attention to fashion?
My mother went to FIT.
Nice.
My mom went to fashion school. My parents are from New York. My father used to do like retail management for like Lomans and
Shout out Big Break and Moms,
things of that
That's
nature.
fire.
So I guess just
Kind of like in your blood.
I guess, but I'll attribute it more to just my parents having good taste. I know that's subjective, but just liking nice things and being able to do what it takes to afford those things, and understanding why. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a designer, like it can be difficult trying to get someone to understand why this costs this and this costs that. And it's like, I won't even talk about clothes here, but like we can talk about something. We can talk about something that's like normally designed. Like you might see you might see something that's like, perfect example. I got it right here. I was at the MoMA store probably like 3 months ago, right? I bought this this thing that you put your phone on where you're supposed to be able to like look at your phone and like FaceTime and talk on it as it sits propped up, right?
Yeah.
And it has like this little piece under it where you can like put your phone cord into it to charge, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's like a phone rack charger thing. So I bought one from the MoMA store. It's like $12. And then I got home and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I was like talking to somebody on FaceTime and they're like, yo, I really can't hear you. I can't hear you. And I'm just like, what do you mean you can't hear me? But the speakers on the iPhone are under
the
Yeah,
bottom.
the microphone is underneath, so it
Exactly.
blocks
So
that.
whatever you're sitting on is.
So the way that the rack was designed, that MoMA is selling, it's closed off at the bottom. So yeah, it serves the purpose for you to see it, but you can't hear it because the thing is blocked.
Unless you got your headphones in.
Unless you have your headphones in. Exactly. Which is another $250.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dang, like I thought that this $12 thing was really good, but now that I figured out what the downside,
paid that $12.
yeah, like not tripping on it, but once you like looking at it from a design standpoint, you're like, oh, dang, that kind of sucks. But maybe there's something on the market that is better designed that has maybe like perforations at the bottom, where it's open at the bottom, but it's still
Can still
rounded,
hold
that
it.
can still hold the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I go looking for it, and I find it. But
What's the price?
it's $150.
Exactly.
Nah.
Exactly.
Not necessarily tripping on it, but at the same time, I say that to many people that don't understand the importance of design and or how to quantify it. Because it's like, yo, why is this 150 and why is this 12? And it's just like, all right, yeah, I think that the gap of $138 may be kind of vast for somebody else to be able to hear you. But if this is a big part of your comfort or it feeds towards your
Well,
efficiency,
yeah, exactly.
you will pay that price because it's of use and not of inconvenience. So yeah, like
That's
that
a great way to put it.
yeah, like that's just how I look at design.
Now, how do you connect that or transition that outlook to fashion in regards to when you're creating pieces and your price points compared to others?
First off, it's always going to be form and function.
Yeah.
Always. You know, what is this thing useful for? What is its functioning purpose? That's what clothes are, you know. Now, if it happens to be flashy on top of that, or it's tied to a story, which most things are, and that's a sellable story that's relatable to the masses, or it's on trend, or the color is on trend for the season, it checks all those boxes. All of those things are icing on the cake. But for me and us, it's form and function. How can this thing be used? As far as price points, a lot of people don't talk about this, but it just depends on where you are. If somebody owns your company or has equity in it, whatever. Our business is not that. We're 100% independent. But
God bless.
Black owned,
yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, black owned.
Yes. At the end of the day, though, math is math.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's the bottom line. You feel what I'm saying? So, as a young independent designer, when you come into this thing, you are not going to step in to this thing with all the resources. You're not going to step into it with all the finances to get the best made, and you're not going to get the best price because you don't have the money to spend, or you haven't
or the
built
resources,
a
yeah,
connection.
yeah.
You don't have any of these things at your leisure. So, as far as price point goes, Mouse, like I think many artists and many people that do design, they would, we don't have I won't say we don't have as much control, but just mathematically, as they say, the math is going to math.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, if it's out of my control, that like if I buy the textile, it's, I don't know, depending on what's getting made. Let's say just use flat numbers. All right, $10 a yard, you're making a hoodie, yard and a half, roughly. Okay, cool. So now you're looking at about $15 on textile. You go to the manufacturer. Manufacturer's like, oh, well, how many are you looking to get done? And he's probably not going to give you a price break for less than 50 or 100, just depending on where you are. Because why is he gonna break down his work to serve you when he's got people buying the whole situation? You know what I'm saying?
True.
So you're not gonna get a tax break. So you spend that on textile. Let's say you spend 50 on the labor. So you're 65 in right now. All right, now you got to get a screen printed or whatever you want to put on it.
Right.
So now you got to go get your screens made. That's a fee to get your screen made. Then the labor to get it done. You're not going to get a tax break on that because depending on how many units you're getting. So it's like, oh man, I just need a one-off. Woo, woo. So now they're probably going to charge, you're going to pay that 55 for the screen alone. Probably going to charge you $5, $6, $7, maybe $10 to just do a one-off. Or they might work the other one and say, well, since you're just getting a one-off, we're not even going to waste our time screening this. We'll vinyl press it. Like heat press it, just so it can have the look for you to take your product shots or what have you. So you done spent 50 on labor, 15 on textile. Now you want to get the thing printed, so maybe you spend, I don't know, 15 to $20 on getting whatever it is you want to put across it. 15, 50, 65, another 15. You're at $80 for a product. Now, think about it like this. A mentor of mine, was giving me the numbers of like the formula of how to like break things down from like a wholesale to resale aspect. So if it costs you $80 to make, that's your cost. But now you're gonna wholesale it for about 2.5 times more.
At least.
So now when you wholesale it for 2.5 times more, the retailer that you're selling it to, they're
go
going to
up.
mark it up
Mark
about
it up even more.
2.5 as well. So now overall, your retail price is about 5 times what you pay, what your cost is. You get what I'm saying? But look at what I just said. I just told you we just did the math of about $80.
Yep.
5 times is $400
And this is for one piece.
One hoodie.
Yeah.
to sell.
Yeah.
Now, I know that is high, but now as your journey goes on, you have the specs to these things, and it's like, all right, now when I up my quantity, the price is going to be cheaper. The more fabric I buy, I'm going to get a lower ticket.
Yep.
The more I get made at the factory, I'm going to get a lower ticket. As I run into people at the factory, connections, I might run into somebody that works in a factory that they may be
They
able
like
to get
your
a better
stuff. They-
ticket.
yeah, they be on
You
some
run
like,
into
yo.
somebody in the fabric spot, and oh man, you should check out my mill and diddle-a-doo, and then you go to their mill or you go to this site, and you begin to whittle your way down to make the things more affordable. But I think a lot of times the consumers, especially like when it comes to looking at black business and black
don't get it.
artists, it's just like, yo, why is this so high? Who do they think they are? Or if they want, why would I go to them and give them $450 a shirt when Gucci t-shirt is $550 and Gucci's t-shirt has more social currency in the club, or it's going to get more likes because it's something that it's a status symbol, so it begins to get hard on an entrepreneur that knows what their vision is. But as we work, I don't work towards what it is that you think I am today. I work towards who I know I'm supposed to be when this is all said and done, because at 32 years old, we've been doing running this company as a business for this year will be 10 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And as far as that goes, what we're just now doing is things that we've saw in our mind since
Years
15 or
ago. I'm about to say
16.
since years ago.
You know what I mean? So reality for us right now, to be truthful, is catch up. Reality is now beginning to align with the things that we always saw. So the success and accolades now is, it's very nice. It's very nice. It's very fulfilling. But, at moments it feels like back pay.
You put in so much work.
Putting in so much
And
work.
and
a
it's
fact.
like
That's a
being
fact.
around his brand and being around other people that are around us and stuff, and just seeing where his brand is compared to some other people that I know. They don't even have to be in the same circle, and seeing the how hard he works and everything that's paying back for it and everything that comes back. And I know we talked about mentors before, and I know you have amazing mentors, or you've had some. Well, I won't call.
No, go ahead.
And I'll say that for the world.
No, for
mentor.
sure.
But
No problem.
knowing you personally, I know the battles that you've had to even get to those conversations of somebody wanting to help you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So when it comes to that stuff, who before all of that mentor stuff, who did you look up to as a designer, like in that fashion world? It's like, yo, look, y'all might not know his name, but this is the person that I was just like, oh yeah, this is on.
Well, first let me say this. My mom always kind of told me there are going to be things about people that you like, and there's going to be things about people that you don't like.
True.
And you are going to see things that you like and people that you don't have, that you want to have, or things that you want to be. So I kind of went through life like, being able to like download
What
good
I like.
qualities
Yeah,
from
yeah,
people,
yeah.
and not to emulate or copy them, because I'm not trying to be them, but I do admire what they do. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, if you're more than likely, if your dad's an honorable person, you're going to be an honorable man.
person, yeah.
You know what I mean? Or honorable person. Or if your mom, for instance, is a very understanding woman, you'll probably be an understanding person.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's just certain things like that. So yeah, I went through life like seeing a lot of things that I admired in different people, and it didn't matter to me what the person had or who they were for me to be like, yo, I admire this about this person.
Yeah.
Now, as far as fashion goes and business and things of that nature, I mean, I grew up heralding the greats, like most people, Alexander McQueen,
Of course.
Margiela, Marc Jacobs, Ralph Lauren, Tom Ford, people that just had an idea. but they understood that this one idea has the ability to expand into a whole world that we have to live in. You know, you might not. I don't. Regardless to whoever is watching this right now, it's like I doubt that there's any viewer that's going to watch this that they might not have a Margiela piece, they might not have a comb shirt, they might not have a pair of Raf Simons pants or Rick Owens shoes. But I bet
Talk to me. If you're gonna tell me, just look at me and say who you
no,
talking about.
No, because
you're gonna say me, just say me. I know what I don't got.
I'm talking.
You don't gotta reiterate what I got.
No.
All right.
I'm talking about Ralph Lauren.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody has.
Everybody has a Ralph
polo white tee,
something,
or a pair of boxers,
A polo shirt.
a polo shirt,
Yeah, socks.
Whether you've gotten polo pajamas for Christmas,
And you got
you get what I'm saying.
I did.
So it's.
I did too.
So I say that to say that all started with one idea,
It did.
and it grew into a whole
whole
world that
worldwide.
affects the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Across all socioeconomic
All
statuses.
Everybody had polo, bro.
Everybody. It's a household name. It's literally a household name.
And he had different like.
You got different tiers. You got the
different
polo
ti-
sport. You got
but he has different
polo,
tiers of
Ralph
what you can afford.
You got the purple label.
Can you
Purple
do
label.
this? This is $1,000 for
If
this
you
shirt.
want to do that, if you want to do the cashmere, we can do that. If you just want to do the normal cotton, that's fine too.
You can do the wax denim, or we can just do the regular. Like, there's so much that they give you and of course that takes time.
Of course,
and of course it takes money, and you gotta know the right people. But absolutely,
Yeah, so to answer your question, like, it was having the ability and the understanding to see the power of others' ideas. You know what I mean? And just looking at very, very normal things like Ray Kroc and McDonald's. Like, all right, cool. Like we have hamburger, we have fries, we have soda. We are not Chick-fil-A.
No.
We're not trying to sell you chicken sandwiches.
We trying to get you a burger real quick.
that's it.
Come get this burger real quick.
Come get these fries.
We specialize in this because this is what we're good at.
Yeah.
And then from there, once it has been proven time and time again that we are good at this,
Then you add a little.
now we
got ribs, y'all.
We can experiment for a limited time only.
Because we know what's gonna sell already. We know what we got. It's already gonna sell. But we'll give you little things, and if that sells, then we can.
But
we'll try it out.
And if it doesn't sell, we're not going belly up back to the floor eating ramen noodles. Like our business is
back
not,
we back to burgers.
we
our
have-
business is not in danger. We're just going back to doing
What we do.
what we know best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What was your barrier of entry into fashion? Like as a brand, not just saying like
I knew
okay,
your
this is what I'm-
fashion show before. I think I knew you
Yeah, most
when you did the subway joint
yeah, most people did
in Atlanta.
To be honest, Mouse, it didn't even start with making clothes. It started as a stylist.
Okay.
About 10 years ago, roughly. About 10 years ago, I had an opportunity to intern with Complex Magazine.
Okay.
Through Matthew Henson, who gave me an opportunity, and Cassandra Henderson.
Shout out, Matt.
She used to work at Complex, and just having friends back home that make music, and just being around them, me always having a job since I was like 15, buying clothes and getting fresh.
Yeah.
People just admiring what I did. So then my friends were making music, and a lot of my friends came from, single family households and, things of that nature. So they didn't have the opportunity to, have as much as I did, and that didn't put a strain on the friendships that I built and the relationships that I kept. It was just always me being able and wanting to help, and seeing my friends look like how I look, or us all being fresh in our own way. So my friends were making music, and then they would go on the road, and I would go on the road with them sometimes too, letting them wear my clothes, so on and so forth. And they had a stop in New York where they were at the stop by Complex Magazine, and at the time, Key Henderson was managing them, and she was working at Complex, and
Shout
then
out,
I
Key.
pulled up with them.
Yeah,
Yes.
facts.
So I pulled up with them, and obviously I'm sticking out like a sore thumb because if she manages the group and she's never seen me before, obviously I'm not part of the talent. So she's looking at me like, what are you doing here? So I'm like, oh, I'm the stylist. So at that time, like that summer before, my business partner and I, he lended an amazing helping hand as far as helping me get my stylist portfolio together.
Nice.
And just spent the whole summer doing that, shooting it in film, lending me some of his clothes, most of his clothes, some of mine, just mixing it together and just, having something to be able to show, because a lot of times we were so anti to having to be formal, because as artists we are rebels. So, you have to still understand the formality of certain things to this industry to get certain opportunities. I didn't walk in that office that day with them looking to get an opportunity to become an intern there. I was just, doing right and supporting the homies. And but we did really work hard on that portfolio. So when she, she kind of looked at me, kind of looking like, oh, well, who is this guy? And I was like, all right, well, I felt like the oddball my whole life of it being like, so who is this guy? He looks a little different. Like, what does he do? Because I'm kind of quiet. So it's like, if you're not into what I'm into, or you don't know who I am or what I
I'm
like,
gonna stay to myself.
yeah, like I'm not gonna open up like, oh, so did y'all watch dinner today? Like, I'm not an icebreaker type of guy. But like, if I can see like a common denominator of an interest, we could talk all day. But I just, I know how that goes, being in the studio and you not being the talent and everybody's looking at you like move around or talking over you or acting as if you don't exist. And it's like, oh, I'm a human too. So I was just like, felt that was extremely inhumane. But anyway, just being there, I introduced myself to Key, so on and so forth. And I was like, yo, like, I've worked really hard on my portfolio this past summer. I have it on my computer. Like, I'd love to show it to you. And she's like, oh, great. And it was good. It was very good. And then, she liked what she saw, but I don't think Key was. I think Key was on like special projects at Complex at the time. I don't believe it was fashion.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
before.
yeah.
Exactly. This is back when they were on 23rd Street, like in the Home Depot building. So she's like, okay, like I'm gonna show this. Like I'm gonna show this to like our fashion person, being Matthew Henson. So I'm just like, oh, cool. Like, but more so, I'm here for the homies. And then she shows it to Matt. Comes back a couple minutes later, and she's like, yo, like I want to introduce you to somebody. So she introduced me to Matt. Somebody that I can, talk to, that like speaks the language. You feel me?
Exactly.
So Matt and I just ended up chatting for a moment in his office, so on and so forth. And then he's just like, yo, like, what are you doing in like December? Like it's like when school break is. And I was like, I don't know. Like I don't really have any plans. I'm like 21 at the time. I had no plans. So I'm like, well, I don't really know. So he's like, yo, well, like, if you'd like, we'd love to have you, like, intern here. So I'm just like, okay, tight. So I'm, like, geeked a little bit. Not high, but, like, excited.
Of course.
Yeah, so I'm geeked. So I'm like, all right. So like, we leave. Like, they did their show and stuff, whatever. So I call my parents, and I'm just like, yo, I got my big break. And at the time, I'm going to school for economics at Kennesaw State. And my parents... Kennesaw, it's in Georgia. It's in Atlanta, like it's north, not like Gwinnett north, but like it's a little up there. So my parents are like, what does that have to do with economics? Literally. And I was just like, oh, got it. Like, this is the TV show moment where like the kid begins bucking on their parents, like, Mom, you don't understand. Dad, you don't understand. And it's just like, you know what, bro? I'm not even finna really go back and forth because nobody's gonna force me to go to school. Like I'm not bucking like that, but like that's just like.
But you're not gonna be forced into something that.
I'm a very calm person, Mac. So it's just like it can come across aggressive, but if I look you in your face and say, "So what you gonna do about it?"
It's a real question, though.
It's a very valid question. Like I don't have my hands up saying, "Let's do it." But it's like, really, what are you going to do?
So I have
I'm
a
already
question.
not living at home.
So I have a question.
Shoot.
Because I love hearing just especially from designers, people who create, right?
Yeah.
Like me as a musician, like hearing about my first song all over again. I'd be like, I still remember the day I recorded it. I remember what it was, how we did it, how we flipped the record, whatever. What was the first thing that you created? Like, what was the first thing that you worked on, and what was the process like?
It started with jeans.
You was doing custom dress for a minute.
Doing to finance this thing and try to get money to forward our ideas. So yeah, like I remember one time. This is probably like this was 2007 because I graduated in 08. At the time, like me and my business partner, like bro, we always loved denim. Like we just loved denim. And
What is it about denim that caught your eye? That made it the thing that y'all zeroed in on?
I personally believe that denim is the nucleus to an outfit. That's what if
Over sneakers? Or
If-
over feet?
if coming from where we come from, very few stores had tier 0 accounts, tier 1 accounts.
True.
You know what I mean?
Explain that for the listeners who don't understand.
Tier 1s and tier 0s, HTMs and accounts like that, like it's so normal now. Every store gets Yeezys. And you know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
Because
Back
of
then
what
you
he
had to
had
sell. You had
with
to
Adidas.
sell the whack Jordans to get the good Jordans.
You have to
So
take some.
Yeah.
You got to take some Scooby snacks. That's what
Fact.
we call them. You want.
You gotta sell some Eddie Georges.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You gotta sell. You gotta sell some Eddie Joneses if you want to get to 12.
Right.
Fact. You gotta.
Yo.
And you gotta
Wanna get
sell
to
out of
12,
them.
you gotta move
You have
these
to sell.
Cheryl
You have to
Swoops.
move all.
You gotta move it.
Yeah, because it was unanimous that the Yeezy 1 is going to sell, the Yeezy 2 is going to sell, or whatever the hot shoe is. Like, that's going to fly. So, like, Nike's not, in any company, is not bending over backwards to give you something that they know is going to sell. It's like, yo, can you
push the stuff that's not going to sell for us?
trap out the bottom of the bag? Like, it ain't all about just the za. Like,
Yeah.
what about the da-da-da? You feel what I'm saying? So, anyway, Mouse, so we didn't have all of the options of the feet. So, like, Walters would get the Yeezys and stuff, but, like, bro, we were kids. We weren't dope boys.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
so the price point was crazy at the time.
bro, you have to keep in mind, I remember, and not to shy off the question.
Yeah,
but
of
course.
I remember when the Jordan 17 came out. That was the first Jordan.
Suitcase.
Suitcase and interactive disc.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
That
That
was,
was also the first Jordan that came out post his return.
Retirement.
Yep.
see,
No, his return.
Was his return?
He was back.
Yeah, facts.
That
That was in
was-
seventh.
that was 02.
Seventh grade.
It was 02.
I was about to say it was yeah.
6th grade.
And so I think it was
He was in
I just
seventh.
moved to Jersey.
You're right. So
so I think it was I think those shoes were either 200 or 250. I want to say
200.
200.
I think it was
200.
250 because it came with the suitcase.
with the suitcase, it was
Yeah.
250 for the if you were able to get the pair just in the box. It was 200.
So Pete, so I remember them coming out, and I wanted them, and my parents did the best they can to give me whatever it was that I wanted within reason. But
That's different.
$250 was ridiculous in 02 when you're 12 and 7th grade. So I
And
think
they know you're gonna mess them shits
yeah.
up.
So I think like we went to Finish Line, or my mom called Finish Line or something like that, and it was like, oh, they $250, and they were just like, what? Like it's not like.
Now, mind you, guys, this is before that. This is before the usual where Jordans now are like they're starting at like 150, 200.
Jordan now is 180.
That's what I'm saying.
And this
Like,
is also the time when you can actually go into the store
And get the sneakers.
because the price point was so high
Right.
that everybody wanted them, couldn't get them.
I remember, I think it was 2000.
It's before hypebeast. This is before
Yeah,
resellers and stuff like. You was just getting it for that price.
I think
I
it
don't
was
remember resellers back
2000
in that.
Nah, they was there.
They,
I mean, they were there.
They were-
but
they were
Goes
there,
back
but
to
it
the
wasn't. It
form.
wasn't. It
And
wasn't.
I don't think it was also like
it was in
the
different places.
yeah, the
and they
resellers
weren't
weren't.
and it wasn't resell at that time. It was still
Sneaker pimps.
yeah.
and
Yeah,
It's like,
sneaker
hey, you got
events and
it was like, hey, you got this. Let me get this. I'll give you this. It was still a very
It was a barter
organic.
system.
It was a trading.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah. So
I remember. I think 2003, or I think I was 13 or something like
Yeah.
that. That's
2003 was 14.
we were 14.
Just
So
depends.
then,
A year
so
older
then
than a year.
2002 is when I was able to go into training camp.
Yeah.
I went into training camp and bought a pair of threes. I wish you could go into a store and buy a pair of
Oh,
threes.
you can go get some threes right now.
they're gonna be the
Depends on which ones you want.
yeah, they're gonna be the nasty.
Not the ones he won.
They're gonna be-
He didn't wear them.
Mommy.
Yeah, if he didn't wear them, we didn't want them. But
Yeah, facts.
on
Talk
God.
about it.
But yeah, Mouse.
Nah, I had the Eddie Joneses.
It was.
Don't trip.
Eddie Jones wore them.
Definitely did.
That's
Those
just
were
a
a good
fire.
team.
Those are good team Jordans.
Yeah.
Good team
Eddie Jones, Cheryl Swoops, and there was one more pair. I can't think of it. There was 3 pair that was still good monies. I just can't remember the third pair.
Carmelos?
Carmelos.
The V2s, the ones that look kind of like fives?
No, not
Or the
that. The
first ones,
ones.
the
The
one-
ones, they were
Big
high
joints?
and they kind of had that rounding at the neck.
That wasn't for me, but
My cousin in Alabama had those. They were good.
yeah.
I'm not. My mother's from
I took that-
Alabama.
I took that-
No.
I took that offensively. I had 2 pair of those.
My first.
That was the first sneaker I ever bought 2 pair. I was like, oh, these is tough. I need 2 pair.
Now, the Eddie Joneses, I got those shits in 7th grade when I moved to.
To clear the air here, my mother is from Alabama.
Okay.
Okay.
I
you
have
got cousins out
I
there.
have a first cousin, seriously, named Ryan. He would be into Jordans. I was into Jordans, so we would trade Jordans when I would go to Alabama.
Did y'all wear the same size?
We were kids, so he had it. It
Got
wasn't. It wasn't about that.
It wasn't about the size.
It wasn't
It
about
the
that.
size.
We're gonna
You just
make
got
it
you
work.
could, as a kid, you could get something and never wear them and just be in your room.
You
You'd
feel
be like, yo,
or back then, that's when we used to put our feet in it. You figured out, put an extra sock on.
take the sole out, extra sock, a lot of things.
Let me tell you something. I'm 32 years old right now. I'm wearing 9.5. I remember one time I went to Walters and it was like these Dunk Highs. They were like the 4th of July ones. They had like the seersucker padding in between the check. and
Yo,
the
I
upper.
still got those. I literally just pulled them out of. I literally just pulled them out of the storage like last week.
Boy, nasty. I'm a 9.5 now at 32. So I think at this time maybe I was a 8.5, 9. You know, it's like back to school time, or I was prepping to get ready to go back to school, something like that. You know, you try to buy your stuff a little early because
Of course.
you don't want to go back to school with the same things that everybody has. So you're like, oh, if I
get
put
it
this
early.
on layaway at Marshall soon enough,
get it.
like
By the time I get it.
you feel me? And nobody's gonna have it. Boy, I went in Walters and got them shoes and a 10.5. On me. I ain't never worked 10.5 in my
A
life.
10.5.
Anywhere 8.5 is.
I'm not gonna lie to you. A 10.5.
At this big old
And
age, I'm a 9.5. And dunk highs,
And
Miles.
Dunk High, the 10.5.
Not
I don't
SBs,
know if
no
anybody
padding.
understands. He looked like the letter L. Standing still, he looks like the letter L. That's crazy.
But this is where I tie this all back together. Jeans. The
Ah.
importance of jeans and how I believe that jeans dictate an outfit. No,
That's
I didn't
true.
find my way to jeans being cool because I was trying to hide 2 big shoes. That wasn't the case. But in instances, it did work to my advantage. But I say all that to say, like, we didn't have certain things in our backyard. We didn't have the product. We didn't have the Bape. We didn't be able to get all these things. So like for me, it was jeans. So it was APC and
APCs,
Gap
yeah.
had a good raw denim that me and my business partner both had at the time. It was they had a pair called the More and they had a pair called the Go.
I know that because my cousin, when I moved to Jersey, she worked at the Gap.
See?
My older cousin, so we used to get all the Gap, all the Gap stuff.
I ended up working at the Gap. One part of my life got fired after they used me on Black Friday and then fired me after the shift was over after coming in at midnight.
Oh, not enough, Kanye. Put them all out in front of the store. No more sign dates.
And then they fired me because they told me that I didn't know how to fold. And I'm just like, all right, well.
I mean, that's a pretty important part of the job.
Why don't you
I'm not
teach
lying.
me?
But why would?
Oh, right, because he just started.
Why would you hire? Well, it was a job, but it was like, bro, I would only go to. It's like a high school job. You feel me? So like,
You
I
only
would only
going
go to
for
work
4
like
hours?
2 days a week at most. And then like the Gap pants, bro. It's so funny. Like I swear to you, bro. When I was working at the Gap, I didn't like how any of the Gap pants fit me. So I'm going to work in double RL Ralph Lauren pants, like $300 pants, and like customers are coming in and they're like,
They want
Can I get those pants?
they're like, yo, I like your pants. Who makes them? And I'm like, Ralph Lauren. And the customer's like, oh, great. I'm going there.
I'm going to Ralph Lauren.
No retention.
I didn't think anything of it
Son.
because I was a kid. No, I was like 18, 19. And then and my manager was just like, bro, what? Like,
What you doing?
I'm just like, but this is my thing about design and being a designer. Like, it's a certain truth. Like, I can't keep the truth from somebody when it comes to design. Like, what's good is good. And this looks good on me and it makes me feel good. And this person likes how it looks on me and they think it'll look good on them and make them feel good. So it wasn't about me trying to keep the secret and saving face for who I was working for at the time, as opposed to just telling the truth. And they're like, yeah, bro, you're not supposed to be here because you're not understanding that you're supposed to
Sell our
this.
product.
your existence is supposed to be all about this, whether it's the truth or it's not. This.
And it can't be that.
Can't be
not
that.
especially not when you're a designer and in the business of telling the truth.
I wasn't there yet. I wasn't designing yet, but it's
your
it's-
mind.
No, but
yeah.
but it was already the
you.
mindset. You already had the mindset
You
of
feel
it.
me?
Let me ask you this. Do you remember your worst outfit?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this in 2 parts. Do you
I can tell you one.
Do you remember your worst
I was
outfit?
about to say now.
Wait,
He's
he
like,
said,
"I
because he was about to say, it wasn't no time soon. But let me ask you this. As a stylist, do you remember your worst outfit? And do you, and personally, do you remember your worst outfit?
In high school, we used to have this thing. We used to have like a homecoming.
Yeah.
And at our school in the South, y'all probably never had this in New York, so y'all probably gonna look at me crazy. But we used to have tacky day.
No.
I've heard about
Mismatch
that.
Day.
Yeah, I've
All
heard
that-
about
Oh,
it.
like
Yeah.
Spirit Week.
Yeah, Spirit Week.
Spirit,
Yeah,
homecoming,
yeah.
Spirit Week.
Yeah,
we had that.
I don't remember Tacky Day
You ain't-
specifically.
You ain't
but
make
yeah.
it that far.
Okay. So yeah, like back home, we
Bam.
had
You ain't even make it to.
Bang.
Come on,
I
now.
almost yo.
we had.
Bang.
Here we go. Here we go. See,
Yo.
I'm staying over here. So look,
Yo, as true friends, I almost threw the frame. That was crazy. The way he hit me with that, I didn't even see it coming. I did that to you?
I'm staying out of this.
I deserve that?
No, I was just saying,
Oh,
like,
wow.
you.
It's 4 years of high school, bro.
But why was you dressing tacky if you didn't have to go to class?
Go ahead, Brick. Go ahead.
Wow.
Nah, he's,
Wow.
Yo,
Wow,
you gotta
wow.
double down on the joke. That's crazy.
So I'm gonna put my hands
I
back
deserve
on my lap.
Anything I did today, you feel like I deserve that, Brick? Something like that?
Jesus Christ.
I would hope not.
I need some water.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I can only hope. I don't know.
Right,
Welcome
that's
back.
cool.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
During Black History Month is crazy.
It's crazy.
Doing this during Black History Month
I
is
gotta
crazy.
be real with my people.
It happens.
Back to you, Brick. Tacky Day.
It's okay. Yeah. So we had tacky day.
You trying to
and-
say your worst fit was during the tacky day? You can't do that.
on me?
Yo,
That's
it's
the freshest thing you can say. Yo, only time I
saying
dress
my
bad
worst
is when they
outfit
told us
was
to
on
dress
Tacky
bad.
Day. It goes back to like being like,
I
yeah,
can't
what's
wait.
your worst critique of yourself?
I work hard.
I just don't know when to
No,
stop.
because
I don't know when to turn it off, boss.
I'm gonna give it to you though, because watch this. Look, when you know clothes and you know trends, there are rules.
Yes, sir.
There are rules.
Yes, sir.
Like in suiting, I'm not a suit wearer. When I have to wear a suit,
You know the
I
rules.
do, and I know how to wear. So
You
there's
never
I'm
wear
about
the
to say,
tag on the sleeve.
I've seen you with a suit on that. Boy,
No, I've had to. Oh yeah, for sure. Because I know what to do. I understand the game. I'm a student that studied very well. So when I have to do those things, I do them very well because I understand it. But I say that to say there are certain dress shirts that are designed where the collar is designed in a specific manner for a specific
type of neck.
knot in your tie, a specific type of knot in your tie.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You don't tie
A Windsor in
a spread collar shirt or what have you. It's rules to it. I say all that to say there's rules. So when you get dressed and you love clothes, this was way before I was making clothes, but when you know the science of clothes, like if you were short, like slim pants make a tall person look taller. Baggy pants and a smaller shirt makes a short person not look so short. It's proportions. Like it's just the illusion
Yeah.
of the eye. Like I didn't make any of these things up, but as an artist and a designer, it is our responsibility to play and experiment with these things until we find new things and new shapes or new boundaries to break. Now, as far as the tacky thing goes, I say all that to say, me knowing what works, when you know what works,
means you know exactly how to
you
make it
know
not.
the complete opposite
Yeah.
of making the most horrendous
Okay.
things.
I get that.
Because you know how to make things that work. It's like a chef. It's like, all right, well, if I know if salt goes with pepper or turmeric, like in culinary, turmeric normally goes with black pepper because black pepper activates the turmeric for your
Exactly.
body to be able to absorb it better. So with those like understandings, you know that you're not supposed to
Throw sugar in it.
yeah, not throw sugar in, but I think when you eat hot food, or like if you eat a pepper, you're not supposed to drink water. People think like water is what calms
No,
it down.
no,
It's
you actually
the
exacerbate.
You get what I'm saying?
Reactivates it.
Bingo. So I say all that to say, in a long-winded way, sorry. I knew exactly some of the ugliest things, like the most faux pas things to wear. So I remember my outfit so vividly, and I'm going to tell it to you. And it was so strategically horrendous, you're going to like all envision in your mind, and you're going to be like, wow, that's actually nuts. And then you like 5 seconds later, you're going to be like, I've seen some things on the runway that look like that now, so I don't know. But I had a turtleneck on.
I'm already hating it.
I had a black turtleneck on with a dashiki over it. I had on
Sound like somebody we know.
I had on hyper purple Nike vintage shorts, not basketball shorts, but like running shorts that like
The
stopped
little
the mid thigh.
Those the before
The
the
ones that we
wow.
all wear now. Yeah.
Hyper
wow.
purple, and I had on aerobic socks because in the South back in the day we used to call them slouch socks.
Because it gives us a lot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But I had these from like back in middle school, and then I had a pair of my dad's Chelsea boots on. So I had on Chelsea boots with the pull tab with slouch socks up to here with shorts that stopped right here with a boxy dashiki and a skin tight turtleneck.
which
Bro.
looks like people, like you said, what they wear these days.
I think a lot of people don't know the rules and what direction to break rules, so they just try to break rules in any way possible. And it's like, yo, we're doing this because we've never seen it done before, but you also have to ask yourself, we have to ask ourselves, it's like, yo, are we just breaking rules for the sake of being rebels, or is this actually ugly? You know what I mean? And I know it's all going to be subjective, whether
Of course
you like
it is,
or not.
but
it's like,
it's a fair assessment, right? It's
Yeah.
like, are you doing things just to do things, or
Right.
are you actually like
Doing them
Are you
because-
trying to be?
are you trying to be different, or are you just expressing yourself in a different manner because that's who you are?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, so yeah, Mouse, that was literally my worst outfit as I can remember, because now, and I know you're like, oh, like that's crazy, because it's like, how is your worst outfit on tacky day when it's supposed to be intentional? But as an artist, that job, like I said before, is to play with shapes and proportions. My job is more so of that than trying to make somebody understand why I'm wearing what I wear. It's more so an experiment. And every time that you choose to experiment, you might not get the result. Yeah, I might come outside to something that was completely odd, weird, and or foreign to you. Totally understandable. It's not about me being smart and you being stupid. But it's like, all right, if you understand that this is an experiment, and as I whittle away at this experiment, I'm going to find something that catches.
That catches, absolutely.
And then I'll go from there. You know
So
what I mean?
literally from this outfit that you may deem as something not cool or whatever, there's something in this that I'm looking at that's going to spark something that's going to be
That's
fire.
all mood boards are. You
And
don't
what
put things on a mood board to copy the work, but this is the inspiration. It's like, oh, I like the short shirt with the big pants thing. It's not really feeling the boot, but we're going to put this here because I like two things about it. And now we have 400 images of things that we like this season. So now we begin to whittle away at what our silhouette language is going to be. So it's like, all right, now we're moving into this oversized thing. Or this year we're doing oversized small pants. This year we're doing big pants, small things. This year we're doing hoodies with double head hoodies. This year we're doing hoodies that turn into sweatshirts, you know? So it's literally an experiment, you know?
That kind of goes into my next question. Your brand, like we see it now. You've done 2 huge collabs. I want to say this year, but
Past year, sorry.
but it still carries over.
Absolutely.
You've done crazy, and I mean you can speak on those if you want, if you don't. But
Yeah, whatever you
they're
wanna know.
amazing collabs.
Whatever you know.
What is the future of your brand? Like where do you see it 5 years from now? What do you see? Do you see yourself as a creative director for, you know what I'm saying?
5 years from now, we want a house. We want a house.
Like your own production house?
Their own fashion house.
We want.
Yeah.
No, we are. We are currently that. We are a fashion house. I mean, does our logistics as a fashion house look like what you know a fashion house to be as a Prada or a Gucci? Not specifically, because we haven't been there as long, but we're growing towards that. And the reason I say fashion house as opposed to brand clothing line, like look at the influence in the things that we do. You know, and that's not to toot our horn. That's just
It's the truth.
Yeah.
that's just the ripple in the ocean of the
real.
creativity that we bring to the game. So yeah, 5 years from now, being in it for 10 already.
It's 15.
You know, had a chance to work with we've had a chance to work with a lot of talented designers, and do a lot of collaboration with talented designers, friends, and you know, all of those things. So I think 5 years from now, 15 years in the game, I definitely think that house positioning will be only right, and anything less than that is a failed mission. So that I think, and I believe that it will happen before 5.
I mean, I know it will.
Yeah, sure.
But I just wanted to
yeah, 5.
put a
you
year
know,
out there.
because, no, for sure, because for me, that's where you go get the money, because in our house, it's not like, yes, it's a business and business needs money, but it's art first and it's art forward, and there is no necessary quantification of money on the art. So that is why we are so indie, because when you meet business managers or you meet people that are trying to buy in, that have this money tool with no understanding of creativity,
They're not there for the right reason.
they're not there for the right reasons, and they're telling you what the budget should be so that the art may get compromised due to the amount of dollars that can go behind it, as opposed to when you're fighting for something that you and your partner have seen for the past 15 years, no pun intended, but there's no limit to the thing. You know what I mean? So it's not about, like, you think I'm going to get discouraged with you telling me that we don't have enough money? Bro, it's not even your money.
That's a fact.
You work for me. So it's your job to either go find the money or move around,
Yeah.
because this art comes from the heart. So it's not about, bro, you make time for what you want, and you find a way to get what you want.
To get it how you got it.
That's
However you got to get
that's
it.
right
You
there.
get what you want. I don't know a world of me not getting what I want.
Man, that brings me to this last question.
Shoot.
I know right now there's somebody watching right now, male, female, other. There's somebody out there who's actively working on trying to be the next Brick.
Sure.
What's a tip? What's something that you would want to give them, or to kind of tell them, guide them in the right direction towards leaning into their creativity?
You have to see it.
Mm.
You have to see it. You have to see it. You have to see yourself in it. You have to see yourself doing it. You cannot see somebody else in it and see somebody else doing it and think that I can do it too, or I deserve it. I deserve to do it too because I now want what this person has worked for. My life has been very much. How do you?
I needed that myself.
He slapped that one.
How do you use your opportunity? You know, like when you go out to eat with your family, your girl, whoever, when you look at that menu, you get an option. If you can afford, obviously you can because you chose to go to this place.
Of course.
So,
Yeah, sometimes you find out.
mouse, these things have prices beside. But seriously though, you get to choose exactly what it is that you want.
Yep.
So me personally, if I'm at dinner with somebody, you get a menu, I get a menu, you get what you want,
I'm gonna get what I want.
So there's
And woman, don't you reach your hand across
I'm not talking about
Damn.
no.
I gave you an opportunity to order what you want.
Mouse, you're triggered. You're triggered. Relax.
It happens.
Relax.
It happens. We've all been there.
Forgive me, y'all. I had a
So-
moment, my brothers.
It's okay. It's okay. But you make a choice of what it is that you want. And when you make that choice, you have to stand on
You have to fully stand on
you
it.
have to fully stand on and understand what comes with these things.
Yeah.
We understood a long time ago that us talent multiplied with sacrifice and diligence and discipline will yield success. That is a formula that we knew a long time ago. So now that is why one would view us as successful. You get what I'm saying? So that is my advice. Understand the ins and outs of what is going to come with what it is that you think that you want to do. And if you can't see yourself doing it, it's I'm not gonna say it doesn't go. I'm not gonna say it doesn't go anywhere, but if you see it, you are going to drive yourself.
To get it.
If you see somebody else doing it, your motivation is only going to be contingent upon
On what
their
they do.
desire of how far they're going.
Yeah.
I never really thought about it like
And
that.
you limit it, and you put a ceiling on your own. You stunt your own growth, essentially. So that would be my biggest advice. And I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer to where I could say, oh, well, you know, take these vitamins or make this smoothie and no, seriously, like take these vitamins or drink this smoothie and it'll help you see these things clear. I don't know. Like God gave me the ability and my partner for us to have a vast imagination beyond, you know, it may be not necessarily making sense to the reality of somebody else, but it's confidence. It's like, bro, like I see myself doing this. I know what my skill set is. My skill set can contribute to this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because when you look at it, it's like, bro, as an artist, as a musician, it is our job to contribute.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That is our job, to contribute to the arts. The byproduct is money.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. But all of these things, like I was saying about the back pay, these are the things that make up for the time spent. It's the reward for the time spent. So it's a matter of what it is that you choose to do with it. But that's the only advice that I would have. Like you have to see it, you have to believe it. You have when nobody else does. If it's anything that I would have learned, anything that I would have, you know, done differently, probably, and no, I probably wouldn't have done it differently. But just being verbal about what your dreams are and thinking that everybody has your best interests. But I also come to learn that it's not that people don't have your best interest because they don't want to see you have something or they don't see it for you, but how could they see it for you and believe in you when God hasn't?
They don't even see that. The God hasn't given them that vision.
They haven't got to that point in their journey where they saw what their purpose
what
is.
they want.
Yeah, like I knew what my purpose was here as a child.
Same.
As a child, you know, some people don't get it until they're 2 divorces in or not. You know what I mean? Like it comes in different ways.
All right now.
No, I'm just
if you're gonna keep
Mouse.
doing subliminals, send them at Ryan. Don't bring them over here.
You're not married.
No.
But
I'm divorced.
He's divorced.
Oh, no.
What he tried to do is not talk about me. Ended up talking about you.
Right. It's that April
It's us.
15th
We know the
thing.
same thing.
Because we
We get it.
twins.
I get it.
So either Ryan
That's
gonna
my
catch
twin
a straight
name.
or I'm gonna
Okay,
catch
say
a
it out
straight.
there. I say it in it. That's my twin name.
Okay.
You know what I appreciate.
Hey, maybe we're twin.
Hey, twin.
Goddamn.
What?
Hey, twin. Goddamn, twin. Goddamn, twin.
You know what I appreciate
Talk to
about
me.
that. I was
I see you've been to Atlanta a couple times.
Goddamn, I be out there.
How many times you been to the Cheetah?
Goddamn, I be out there, man. Goddamn, you know, play, man. What I'm out there, man.
We can talk now.
Hey, man, what I'm out there, man. Goddamn, what I'm out there. When I'm out there, I'm out there. When I go home, I'm home, you know.
I appreciate it because as a creative, I found myself literally just, I think this past month, just trying to get back to a place of the childlike wonder that I had with with these arts.
Yep.
You know, I'm I don't know. I had to go back and watch old movies.
It's okay.
I had to go back and listen to music. I had to just like really just kind of engulf myself in the arts and all of that stuff because I was realizing what I wasn't seeing the stuff that I wanted. I was just seeing the money attached to it.
For sure.
So I had to kind of switch focus and all of that. But
I got some advice for you. I don't know. Well, not advice, but I think most artists go through that moment of needing clarity or needing to feel like they need to go back to the essence where they were once hungry. You know what I mean? I think a lot of artists, we begin to achieve things and then we look in the mirror and say, I don't feel that same hunger anymore. I'm now focused on making money. And it's just like, I think that one should focus on making money too. I think it's just understanding the balance.
I agree.
Now, what I've learned on my journey is because I've gone through that, and I ask myself time and time again, as you grow older, you're not supposed to necessarily. I don't think that feeling is supposed to feel the same at 32 as it did at 19. And it would make me wonder, and it's like, yo, am I not as sharp as I used to be because these things don't feel like they once did? And it's like, I say that is not necessarily true. I think that you mature.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So it's like when I was younger, I was so eager to want to shout what my ideas were because all I had was my voice to convey the idea. But now that we have an infrastructure to funnel the idea
into
a product.
fruition. Yeah.
And now we get to see how people align with the product because the product is our idea. It's a different feeling. You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
So it's not. I don't think it's meant to be this. I don't think the feeling is meant to necessarily be the same. And just because the feeling doesn't feel as sharp or as energetic as it once did, it doesn't mean that it's a bad idea. I think it just means that you have matured. You know what I mean? Because now I think it's a matter of what are you doing with these ideas.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because as your business grows, you make more money. So now you're like, oh well, Uncle Sam's going to take this money from me in taxes anyway, so I might as well.
What am I going to do with it?
I might as well make a charity, or I might as well donate
True
to
indeed.
a charity. You know what I mean, or things of that nature. So that's what
It is more than evident that you are a legend
thank
and just a wealth of knowledge.
Sure.
And I don't think a lot of people understand that in
They
real
don't
time.
get it. They don't
I
get it
think-
at all.
Yeah, and I think like Ryan knew like
I'm very like
Oh, sorry.
in a way like I'm trying to find the right word, but sometimes life don't even seem real with the circle that I have. The people that I've seen,
thank you,
like
Ryan.
no,
Real
no,
life,
no,
I
no.
know
But
you.
you're
I know
definitely
part of
y'all
it.
are all a part of it. And for me, sometimes y'all are my motivation. Not sometimes, all the time, because
Yeah.
I'm in a place where what you just said hit me like crazy. Because you were like, "Yo, you got to think about being there. You got to
see
see,
it. You have
to
yourself.
see
being-"
it. You
So
gotta
there's
see it.
things that I've wanted in the past that
When
I was
I
like,
saw
"Yo,
it,
I'm
it
gonna go
didn't even
get
make
that."
sense to me,
Like
not
I'm
to
gonna
cut
get
you
it,
off.
but I've never really sat down and be like, "Yo, picture yourself at that desk or at that whatever," and be like, "Yo, this is what you're gonna do." And when you said that,
And I don't
things
mean
that
being delusional.
yeah, don't
mean
be
that.
like, yo, I could see myself. You 35 and think you can get in the league. It's quiet, bro. Chill out. There's other things you can be. There's chill too.
in a league.
Not that one.
Right.
A league of your own.
Right.
A league.
better
But
start
doing
your
that.
own.
you have to be realistic about what
sure.
you're going for. But
sure.
if there's something in my life right now that I truly believe that I really want.
Yes.
Once you said that, I never thought about it in a way. Like I knew I could do the job. I know I can get it done very effectively. I know I can make this company a lot of money and this can be very lucrative for me in my life. But I never really closed my eyes and pictured me doing the job. So when you said that, and then I realized over the past 8 to 10 years that I've known you, I've seen the steps you've took to go from just doing your bespoke jeans, like customizing them, and people, yo, I got 6 jeans this week. He was the first person I've ever seen post. I'm doing 6 jeans this week. Whoever DMs me
Bro,
first
get
and
in.
sends me their money, I'm doing your
Bro,
jeans.
I remember when I was doing New York a Love Story and seeing his stuff, and I
Yep.
was like I was like, dang, I wanna try to cop a pants.
But to me, I don't know. This is my friend. This is just somebody I talk to doing a thing. But now I see the collabs, and you have every brand that everyone wears. You have a collab with one of them. And to see where you came from doing your own jeans to then to working at Bait and me going in there, yo, to you having to pop up in by Last Lap over there, by the YMCA right around the corner.
Yo,
All these little things that I remember.
Because boy, that line right there.
It was nuts.
To
Yo.
see that line for somebody, like once again, like I told Ryan when Ryan said Janae, I was like, oh, you know that's my bop. Like that. I never met him, but
Right.
I'm a fan. Like,
Thank you, bro.
Like I like the way he puts together fits. I like the stuff so it was like to see that
different.
and then hear the story, it all matches.
Thank you.
Right? Because sometimes you'll see that.
Most times it
So
doesn't
you'll
match.
see, yeah.
It don't
Sometimes
match.
you'll be like, oh,
It
he got a
don't
good
at all.
idea.
It don't at
but he's
all.
not a
He's really
he's
about
super
he's
shallow,
really
like-
about this fashion world. It's not about like, yo, that's hot. That's cool, but this is what I'm into. I agree, and I like what you like, and that's dope. Congratulations.
But I like
But
this.
this is what I like, and this is what I'm going for, and this is what I'm gonna put out. I don't care about what y'all like on the fact of put that out. Nah, I'm gonna put this out, and there's people that that love what I
that
do.
love what
I'm
I
talking
do.
to my audience.
To his
Yeah.
and his audience, some people might be, and it might not be your audience, but guess what?
Our audiences don't coexist anyway. So it's it's no.
That's what I try and get across. And I'm somebody who like lives, they'll tell you like to an unhealthy standpoint, I live off competition.
That's
but
fair.
like with podcasting, I had to realize like there's no competition, right? And I feel like that almost the same way with fashion. Because as much as I love fashion, it's like
It's your shit.
it's nobody can. It's so niche that the closet has enough space for your jeans and their jeans.
True.
And then podcasting, there's no, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe like right, like because I'm just a fan of fashion,
Right.
I'm not Yeah, and I'm a fan of very specific fashion.
Right,
like
right.
the elevated streetwear where we're blending these high-low materials, right?
Right.
Not the. So I don't know. Maybe there is a competitive gene, but I knew with podcasting, I knew for a fact. I'm like, bro, if I go so hard trying to not even follow, try and compete with these dudes, it's just gonna bring more attention to them.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take away from the energy I could be putting into this.
Yeah,
because there's enough, no matter how I feel about a podcast, how I feel about a project. Whoever gonna listen to them still gonna listen to them.
That's a
But
fact.
they still gonna listen to us.
Agreed.
It's not TV.
Right.
It's not network TV where it's like, well, if they not watching Empire,
Yeah,
that mean they
fact.
watching.
It's like it's not
that mean,
6 series
It's
at
not,
one
yeah.
time where you got to pick and choose. It's not that time.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Miles. I think
But
good.
you could also have only your jeans in the closet.
That's what I think. Because once again, then I thought about when I said I was like, well, if you look at my G closet, it's J.E., it's Denim Tears, Nudie. It's very specific. I don't just got everybody's
Everybody's.
jeans in my closet.
But it's
so-
That's your-
it's geared to your taste
That's
and
your
what you
taste.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I think competition is healthy, but I think competition is only healthy when you're playing with somebody that wants to compete too. So it's like sparring. It's
if,
like
you
yo,
punch,
we're-
if you punching up on somebody who's not punching back, you're not
a bully.
You're a bully,
bully.
and you're not even bigger than a bully. You're not challenging yourself.
Right.
Right? You're punching up somebody who they don't got their defense up. So you're not even trying to get around the deep.
Get
You're
tough-
just punching somebody.
Get tough for the tough guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't have a problem with competition, but I think in the fashion industry, it's so vast because in fashion you have true artists whose whole life is here to create and change and inspire, and if they get rewarded to the highest level from their contribution, then they'll take it. And if they don't, that's not going
they're
to stop
fine- yeah,
them.
they're fine
They're
either
gonna
way.
be completely fine. Then you have people that are businessmen that know fashion a little bit, and they say, "I know these numbers, and I know how to get this for cheap, sell it for the high, I know how to market." Da, 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 da. It's a whole production of things. And then you have people like myself and my business partner.
Best of both worlds.
My business partner, he graduated from Emory double majoring in art history and economics.
Jesus
So he knew
Christ.
he was going into business of art. He knew he was going into the art business.
It's like the most lethal combination one could have.
It's actually nuts.
And I went to school for econ. So
What's econ?
Economics.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Shut up,
It's
Ryan.
okay.
No, it's not.
So
it's
right
not
off,
you. It's
so
Ryan.
right off
Shut
the
up,
bat,
Ryan.
you guys both came into this situation.
It's math, bro. It's like I was saying at the
The
top
math
of
is gonna
this.
math.
The math, like it.
10 plus
Math
10
is,
always gonna be 20, baby.
math is not about how you feel, bro. It's not about how you feel. You know
Numbers
what I
are
mean?
there.
So now when you get to balance the act of putting all of what you believe and you feel into it, and you can make the numbers make sense.
What's up?
Oh yeah.
That's why this year looked how it looked. That's why.
Yes.
Wow.
And it looked how it
Wow.
looked off of all
Wow.
this
Nah.
hard work.
That's not me popping it. That's the truth.
Nah,
That's the truth,
that's
though.
tough.
That's the truth.
But still, it's tough to say that. It's tough.
But you sacrificed 9 years
That's
for
what
it,
I'm
and
saying.
that was tougher than saying it now on camera.
Because there's somebody out there that
You
saw
know
the
what I'm
release,
saying?
I
that
like
saw
what's
your
going on
last
here.
your last collab,
Yeah.
and that might be the first time they ever
Absolutely.
know about your. But
Absolutely.
and they might think like, oh, it's a subsidiary under. Nah, it's not because
not.
they don't know about what happened back in the past, and sometimes it's not for them to know.
Nah.
Go get it when you get it. When you find out. When you find out.
If you hear
And,
now,
and
cool.
also you can teach without, making somebody feel
Little.
dumb. Like, me
Or
and
late.
T and I are friends. We're all friends. Like that's my dog. We collaborated together. So a lot, Mouse, you're not the only person that thought that I work
Yeah.
for Denim Tears or work like
I
worked
thought you
with them.
worked with. I didn't think you worked for. I thought
no,
yeah,
no.
that was both. I knew about
Exactly.
T, but I was like, oh, maybe Brick is the silent partner who's like
No,
just
no.
exploded in 2021, in 2022, 2021.
It's that friend. It's that friend circle.
It's-
that. Like we said before, the big homies that wasn't looking out. This is the group that he's in. That's like, yo, all that other stuff that
We ain't
they
gonna have
was
to
doing,
do
we don't
that.
got to deal with
Yeah,
that
we ain't gonna have
because
to do that.
I got mine, you got yours, and we're friends before anything.
That's
so
how
if we can make it work, cool. If it don't, I'm gonna support you. You're gonna support me.
That's how, like, that's how everybody became like, well, not solely off of that, but that's why Japanese fashion was so cool, because all the designers were really friends.
We're really cool.
Nigo,
Yeah.
Nigo, Hiroshi,
yeah.
so on and so forth.
Even that last, I mean, even though Nigo's not there, that last Hiroshi big collab.
It was all together. They all came together. It's love.
They all had their stores in the area. They were all friends. So it's like, and they shared the same love. They shared the same love for the game. So like, when
Do you see that happening right now with you, your contemporaries, and other
I see that
black
happening with
fashions?
him.
with us and our teams, yeah, like dealing with, working with Givenchy, working with T, and our dear friend that we collaborated with, Bradley Suelo at Black Means, and Kyle Pock at Homeboy. It's a bunch of people that we've collaborated with, but it all starts off of something organic, because when over the 9+ years that we spent building this thing, we've learned the resources and the process to get a hoodie made, or the process to make a pair of pants. So it's like, if we want to get something made, we can get it made, sure. But what does it mean? How does the story get injected into this? Because everybody's making T-shirts, everybody's making pants. So it's like, is our walk of life meeting, and our walk of life and our perspective meeting a fellow artist walk of life and perspective? Do we like this? Do they like us? Can we find a middle ground to say something that is important
to both of our audiences?
Exactly. Exactly. So that the cross-pollination, as they call it in marketing. But yeah, so that's how a lot of things happen with us, and it has been an amazing year for us, and we stuck it out. But most importantly, we saw this, we dreamt it, we saw it. God gave us the ability to see the signs in front of us and give us the resources and give us the understanding of how to use and operate these resources, and meeting people and, them showing us things and us actually using them for good and not for bad. So it's so many different pieces of the puzzle that had to click for this thing to be where it is now. And also, just knowing how to answer the phone and talk to somebody and have a drink with somebody when it's not about money on the table. You know what I mean? And
It's tough.
Cultivating relationships. And I know as we get older, we often think where it's like, well, if they don't have anything for me, and it's just like, well, how do you meet new people? Because at the same time, don't you think that these people that have everything actually want to meet people that are human too? So it's a two-way street to a lot of things, and it's just being organic. Because yes, we can sit here now and I can be this one half of a design duo that has had an amazing year, but first it just comes to being a good human and being a decent person. You know what I mean? Because I've learned, like, I think the worst thing that you can do to somebody isn't necessary. No. I think the worst thing that you can do to a person is misuse them.
Ooh.
Not mistreat them, but misuse them. Because humanity is all about, a large part of humanity is us using one another to uplift humanity. So it's just like, yo, bro, like, sometimes I get upset because it's like, wow, I wanted this person to do this. And it's just like, bro, you knew that person was not capable
Of doing that.
That's not their skill set. That's why you go handle that, and that's why this is your job. You know what I mean? So it's just being able to understand your gift as a leader and understand who to use who for what. Discernment, delegation. You know what I mean? So it's just things like that.
Well, like I said before, a clear walking wealth of knowledge, and I'm pretty sure we'll all be pulling from that again sometime soon. Hopefully, this isn't the last time you come next door.
Next time we can actually have some fun and curse and all of that.
Yeah, really let it fly.
We can let it fly.
Let it fly. Because I've been on my best behavior.
You have been.
I've been trying.
Mouse, I've been proud of you. Man. I'm very proud of you.
Salute to you,
We
Mouse.
know who the bad April 15th.
Who's the potty mouth here?
Today, me.
Typically, it's me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't normally, like, in my normal day I don't curse. But then when I get here,
I wake up cursing.
and it's
Same.
it's the little ones. It just be the little ones.
Be the little ones that catch you. Be like,
I said that.
But yeah, like we said, we appreciate you. Please,
Of course.
if they haven't put the pieces together on their own this entire episode, please, real quick, let the people know where they can find you, how they can support, what they can support, what's on the horizon, all that good stuff.
Unfortunately, I can't talk about what's to come, but keep watching.
That's a good sign, though.
And
To not be able to talk about it is a good sign.
That means the ink ain't dry yet.
I think that you'll like it. I think that you'll like it. I think that you'll love it. Man,
model?
we greatly appreciate all the support.
Do you need 3 models?
Yeah, model.
I would love to.
We all wear like
listen,
around
I'm
the
not
same
gonna
size.
lie.
We're not his type of models.
I'm not.
I could be. I got braids. I got tattoos.
No.
I'm not even gonna lie to you.
No.
I'm not gonna say no
You
outright.
gonna say no?
I'm gonna say no with more words than less. But
How about this? When we go overseas and you're doing the runways,
Can we sit front
can I
row?
just get I know that's.
I can get you in a row.
there.
I can get you
I
in a
get you
row.
I get you in a row.
No, I didn't say in a row. I want to be front row.
He said I'll get you in a row. It's crazy.
I got. You like I don't got nothing in my
can walk.
closet.
It has
walk.
nothing to do with you.
Can I walk?
It has nothing to do with you. Huh?
I
Can
don't want.
walk?
I don't want to walk. Ryan can
You
walk.
can't walk.
I can't walk.
You're not tall enough.
I'm
sorry. Yeah.
How did that feel? How did that feel? Hurt my
But
whole life.
it
How did that feel?
Can I get the boots?
It didn't come from a place
Can
of
I get
malice.
the boots? Can I get the boots?
I don't know if we making boots that season.
But when they come out,
I know I ain't. Look, that's why I ain't asked him out. I knew I wasn't tall.
But the
print.
Oh, I could do print. All 3 of us print. We good money.
print is modeling.
True.
I don't. But it's
But we
not
can't-
having
we
to do
don't
with
gotta
height.
walk.
Don't got nothing to do with height.
You acting real different.
I'm not trying to.
You acting real different,
No,
brother.
he's like I'm the same.
No.
I was gonna tell you no when I first
No,
started.
let me tell you something.
There's nothing different here. It was
doesn't
no
do it.
before you
No,
thought about it. It's no after.
What I've had to learn though, because on a serious note, like in my younger days,
Can't put everybody on.
no, it's not about you can't. You
Can't
you
do
can
that
help.
either.
You can help people where they need help. Yes,
True.
absolutely.
True.
But in fashion, from what I observed through my journey, it is extremely visual oriented. You know what I mean? And this has nothing to do with one being tall or one being short, one being dark, one being light. But how people see things, especially clothes, for the first time,
Has to be a specific way.
it's burned in their brain
Yeah.
as to how they will see it and perceive it
to that
forever.
All day.
You know what I mean? I don't think it's a black or white thing, but it's just certain things. It's like, yo, bro, like it might be a whack rapper, right?
Yeah.
Or you think he's whack, or
No, he's
you,
probably whack.
Or you heard him in the car, right? You heard him in the car riding with Rye.
But you hear him in a club, it's different.
Not even you hear him in the club. You hear him in the car with bro, and you're like, I ain't really jacking this, but I'm riding his car, whatever. Get to the crib, turn the TV on. Bro got MTV Jam of the Week.
The video's crazy.
Song is still trash. It's still trash. I'm not convincing you to not like him based on where you saw him, but I will say subconsciously, I bet that you put a different level of respect on it now based on
The
to
visual,
where it's
the
gone.
visual entry. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's all I say there. I'm not.
And we're not good vehicles for your initial.
I don't think that it's not that you're.
Got it.
No, I don't think that it's not your
Can you
good
just
vehicle.
can you style me at your show?
I
Just
think
sit in it.
I think that you guys have an amazing ability to be a part of the puzzle. It may not be the first piece of the puzzle,
But it could
may
be a
not
part of the
the
puzzle.
last piece of the puzzle.
All I know.
But
Homie
being
down,
a
homie down,
part
brick,
of
homie
the
down,
puzzle-
brick. There we go. That's
There we
it.
go. I like
All
that.
I know.
I like that.
I know my
Is,
friend. You just gotta-
nothing you said has offended me to where I'm not gonna keep wearing this stuff. So
And I'm a singer.
Jay Prince fingers.
Bang.
I'm gonna sing something.
Bang bang.
Oh, you got say stuff. But let me just we took off the thing. Yeah, tell them where.
Ain't nothing to talk about. I'm a singer.
No, no, tell them.
No, he said no choices.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm still trying. Still me. I gotta figure out what I can figure out.
And you can find us at bstroy.us, BSTROY.us, and our website is the same, www.bstroy.us.
You're the only person that I've met in probably the last 5 years that remembers to say the www.
Yeah. It's
Everybody else
necessary.
would be like, yo, meet me at
he wants the business.
I grew up watching podcasts and shit like Howard Stern and shit like that, where it's like, you
Well,
know,
it's
so,
very, very right there.
hey, get it off. Like, there
Well,
we go.
Brick, we appreciate you.
not a problem.
Until the next time, my boy.
Another one. Love.
I'ma see you in the land, but goddamn, man. Goddamn.
Tell me where you
down.
want to go.
We out.
Ooh.
We out.
Blue flame. You heard?
And until then, in the meantime, in between time, we will see y'all on Monday. Hopefully, same time. Give
We'll
or
see.
take. But
We'll
we'll be
see.
here.
We'll be here.
We'll definitely be here. And that's for sure. Happy Black History Month. Peace.
Later.